Hi everyone, and thank you so much for coming today. Right before we start, I would just ask everyone to head over to joinpd.com. You can use your phone, or if you have your laptop handy, go ahead and go type in the web address joinpd.com and enter XLWZEB to log in with our account today so you can follow along. I'll give everyone just a few minutes to log on for that, and then we will get started today. All right, we are going to start class today. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about Pear Deck, a great add-on to increase student engagement throughout your lesson. As stated before, if you had not had a chance to log in, please log in to joinpd.com and use the code to participate during this presentation. You can see the code at the top right corner, XLWZEB. That's XLWZEB. I wanted to start off by talking a little bit about myself to understand how I got here to present about Pear Deck. So my name is Melissa Jacobs. I'm currently a special education teacher at the Central Bucks School District. I work at CB South. I co-teach modern world history, concept chemistry, and teach my own resource room math. I'm in the process of getting my teaching certificate in special education and social studies, and I use Pear Deck at least once a week, specifically in my modern world history class. I have had the most success with student engagement through my modern world history class. So if everyone could just take a moment and fill out the following survey. You can go ahead and just click on the link and fill out this short survey. I'll give you guys a few minutes to get there and to log on and fill out the survey. If you have been using Pear Deck on your phone or laptop, you should be able to just click the link. And this introduction survey is just going to kind of give me an idea of where everyone is at with student engagement, if any familiarity you have with Pear Deck currently. Just give you a few more seconds to fill out that survey. I appreciate everyone attending the session today. So let's talk a little bit about Pear Deck. Pear Deck is an interactive engagement presentation tool. It's a great tool for social emotional wellness check-in. If you guys logged into joinpd.com today, you saw that you get the very first question is asked how you're doing today, and there's 3 different faces that you see. That's a great way to gauge how your students are doing in class today. So they could do the smiley, the sad face, the neutral face, and that's you can see that face next to their name as they begin to answer these questions. If for some reason, you see that a lot of kids have the sad face, you can always kind of take a pause in the lesson and be able to talk to them about like why everyone's feeling down. It's just a great way to gauge how your students are doing. Pear Deck can be added on to both Google Slides and PowerPoint. I use Google Slides during this presentation, but at my home school, we are a Microsoft school and we use PowerPoint. Both are user-friendly and equally use the same type of techniques to add on the Pear Deck questions. Now, there are multiple ways to use engagement throughout the presentation. You can use text, which students will be able to write either a short or long answer in complete sentences or bullet points, whatever you're asking them to do. There could be choice, so you can give a multiple choice question and they can select. And a number. So you can have students say you're in a math class, solve. They can answer with a number and you can see how many students had the same number or if it was a little different. There are additional ways that students can engage, but they are considered premium options. So I would discuss with your district whether you have access to the premium options. They can be quite beneficial as well. You can have students draw maybe the planet you're talking about, have students draw maybe something to represent what you are learning about, what's a great tool to describe a Lincoln. And they can draw that, or dragging, which is also a great way to gauge students' opinions. So maybe you have a question on the board and you want them to be, are they completely Democratic or Republican? And then you have independent in the middle, and they can drag a circle, a star, a flag to identify where they fall in the question. Why you should use Pear Deck. So you can use Pear Deck to engage students in your class. For all students to feel like they can participate and not be singled out for a wrong answer. I have plenty of students who are quite shy in school and are often afraid to get the answer wrong. But Pear Deck, because it's mostly anonymous, we, the teacher, can see who's writing it, but they cannot. We're able to provide feedback to students or shout out students who normally wouldn't offer an answer. We can also track students' engagement and understanding throughout the lesson to see, are our students sticking with us or do they need us to slow down? And we will be able to gauge our students' social and emotional wellness as a way through the smiley faces, I have done this or that questions in the beginning, just to get the conversation going. So let's try the first option. The first option is choice. So how is your day going? So you can go ahead and hit the answer the question and you will be able to pick out of the 3 options. Once you are done and all of your students are responded, you can lock responses and show your response. So today we have one person saying excellent. And you would be able to gauge how many people said so-so and how many said not so great. So a great way to use social and emotional wellness. The next option is text. Students will be able to write in a text bubble. Tell me about your favorite teacher. I will give everyone a few seconds to answer this. So again, hit that answer button at the bottom. We can lock our responses. We will show our responses on the screen. So my favorite teacher focused on social and emotional wellness and allowed discussions to flow in class. And you would be able to scroll down to see multiple people's answers and you can see their live response. So if I were to have shown responses currently, I could see people typing their response. So I'll unlock the screen, hide the responses, and go to the next one. The final option is number. Again, this would be a great option if you were in a math class to incorporate Pear Deck. How many years have you been teaching? Again, hit that bottom answer question, type in your number, hit done. I will lock my responses, I'll show my responses, and we can see that the median, or the one where it's getting answered most, would be 1. And so as we add more and more numbers, you can see the scale or the ranges of numbers and where people are at. So why should we add Pear Deck into our classrooms? We really need to gauge our students' understanding through a variety of ways. Allow students to answer anonymously so that students who may be shy or have anxiety about answering in front of the whole class are able to participate and share their thoughts. And this is a great way to incorporate technology into the classroom. So what can we do with these responses? We can share responses in live time. We can save these responses to see who is participating and who is not. And that's a great way during this remote learning to gauge whether students are actively engaged or present. We can see students write their responses in live time. We can read some responses, choose a few to highlight. We can talk about common themes and display the results and be able to see what questions students were able to get right and which ones they're struggling with. So you can incorporate Pear Deck through map identification, label a diagram, have students put events in chronological order, draw a mind map, check if students are ready to move on, and ask the level of understanding where students are at. And we can see that graphic represented on the side. So what has worked for me? In this slide, I had students use the text feature. As I talked about militarism in World War I had students answer this question: why would a country want to have a strong military, and what could it be protecting? Students were able to brainstorm ideas of why having a strong military would be beneficial. Another thing that has worked for me is when I was talking about imperialism in the terms of World War I, and I had students create their own definition of imperialism. This showed me that students were, one, able to define the word that we went over in the past unit, and lets them put it in their own words instead of memorizing a long, lengthy academic definition. In this slide, students were given 3 options to choose from, and students were asked to select the correct response. This was a great check for understanding. After teaching the lesson about the 4 long-term causes of World War I wanted them to categorize some of the pieces we highlighted. So an arms race is an example of what caused. There was imperialism, militarism, and alliances, and they were able to select the correct response from there. Some extra articles if you guys wanted to learn more, and again, through your Pear Deck, you can click right onto these articles and read a little bit more. I found these to be a great way to understand how to effectively use Pear Deck in my classroom. And these are some tutorials if you are confused how to get started. I found them to be super short and helpful for me to get a great foundation going. And before you leave today, if you could just conclude with this exit survey so I can see how this webcast went, and if you guys found that Pear Deck could be used in your classroom. Thank you so much for your time today, and have a great rest of your day.